Well, good evening, guys. Welcome back to Shop Yoga. Tonight. Well, tonight the shop is full. Anyway, I want to focus on snowblowers. One in particular. This Yardworks 30-inch cut. It's about a 12 horsepower or so. And the customer complaint was no forward and no reverse gears. So we cut in there and we found simple thing. This belt, this drive belt here, was off of the pulley, off of its lower pulley. And you can see my fingers on that pulley there now. So it popped right off and it just bound up, and of course it's not going to go anywhere if it's not on that pulley. So anyway, I had put it back on the pulley, ran the machine, and it just wanted to pop right back off again. So I had this same machine last year for the same kind of problem, and the fix was, well, there's a pin underneath the machine. It's a stopper. If you watch here, now I pull this handle to drive the machine, you can see that pulley actually pivots, and it has to pivot to push into the friction wheel underneath, or the clutch. Same thing, friction wheel, clutch. Anyhow, these machines, that's how they work. There's constant drive on these pulleys, and so of course that idler wheel's continually spinning as well. But if we look at the idler wheel, you can see I give it a wiggle. There's not any real amount of play there, so it's not exactly suspect. The belt itself, it's got, wear, but not excessive. So I wouldn't be too quick to blame the belt or that idler. There's lots of tension on the idler, and so lots of tension on the belt, but still it would kick off. So the next thing to consider would be the alignment of those pulleys, because that lower pulley, as I say, it moves, right? It has to move to touch down on the friction wheel. So when we go underneath this thing, as I mentioned, I had this machine in last year for the same problem. I fixed it. It worked all last season. It worked like a trooper, and then it came back. So, I had the advantage of, I guess, of looking in that, looking for that same problem as before, because this style of machine is prone to that problem. Let me show you where that's found. We're going to flip this machine over. And have a looky underneath. Now that wheel, this is the same wheel here. Oh, let me get my light up out of the way here. And that friction wheel is the same wheel I was moving up top. And you can see, let's work that with the handle. grab the handle on the handlebars, and that has to move. But there's a stopper over on the left hand side, and I'll shed a bunch of light on that here. You can see that stopper right now. It has just a standard nut and bolt assembly here, a couple of nuts packed in there on a bolt, and a nut locking it down on the other side. That was me last year. So that gave us, you know, the original pin that was in there, and that was wore. And of course with these machines, as they're just sitting there idling, they're vibrating themselves to death. So the vibration had caused, you know, excessive wear, and this little tang that's coming off this plate, that just cuts into the pin, and it'll cut to a point where it offsets this lower pulley from the top one just enough that it'll throw the belt. So if that's what's happening, if you keep losing it, if the belt keeps falling off of your machine, this particular style of pulley, this system here, it doesn't have, it should have little stays, like little bolts coming through, or little, you know, some kind of a little puck system or something that's bolted in to help to hold that belt on. But the alignment gets out enough, the belt's coming off no matter what you do. So anyway, my fix, because I don't didn't have the actual proper pin in the shop, and really all it's about is building up that space again. So to bring that pulley closer to, you know, lining up to the top pulley. So rather than take the bolt out, go through the trouble of trying to find some larger nuts and jam them in there in lieu of what's there, I just added, you know, some spacer with a hose clamp. So just wrapped a hose clamp around, tightened it down, wrapped the access around it again, and tucked it in. Keep it away from the belt so you don't get fetched up or buffed down on the pulley at all. And that should get it through, if not another season or two. Well, we'll hope for a couple more seasons before we have to do something more. Anyway, that's the fix. I believe that's the fix for that. It's been tested. I went out. There's no amount of snow right now down here on PEI, but I didn't really need snow to drive it around. So I drove it around the yard, shook it back and forth, full throttle, low throttle, middle throttle, forward, reverse, all over the place. That belt just will not, doesn't want to jump off of there. The other thing too that you want to keep an eye on is you can adjust that. You can come back. I don't have exact specifications for you, but you can come back quite a ways before you'll ever touch down. You can see the movement there, I hope, of that plate. So you can come back a long ways before that plate's going to touch down on the clutch. But if you come back too far, well, you're going to have that machine that's constantly wanting to go forward or reverse, you know, depending on what position you have the lever in. So anyway, just keep that in mind. You always have to maintain a little bit of space there, you know, 1/8 of an inch is probably all sorts. As long as there's space there, you are good to go. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Yeah, I guess, what else can I say? Oh yeah, don't know if you've ever seen the operation of the pulley, but I'll give you a glance here of what actually happens when you're moving, shifting gears. That's going to be into the forward gears. and you're just pulling it over to the other side of the pulley for reverse. So yeah, all of your actions are done on the same pulley. Just depends on which side of the pulley you're on, right? That's all there is to it. Okay, thanks for watching. I've got a friend showing up here any minute now, and he's going to want a snowblower. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching, and feel free to share, comment, yeah, whatever you like. Bye for now.